Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1AAuto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
Just gonna hit the dome lamp override switch to shut off the dome lights, just so we don't run the battery down. Open up your door, and small flat blade screwdriver or a small trim tool, and there's a couple panels to remove, one in behind your door handle. Just twist lightly and pull that out. There's one right back in here, right in the middle, pull out and off. And then the door lock knob, pull up on it lightly and try and pry this center clip out at the same time. Comes up and off. If you have good fingernails, sometimes you can just pull up and off on that. You could also use a trim tool available at 1AAuto.com. Put it underneath, pull straight up. Make sure you pull up on the front. Somebody was not that careful on this one, and you can see they actually broke off the tab from the trim. And then you'll want to disconnect your power window switch. Just a little tab here. Pull and disconnect. And then we'll remove 3 10mm bolts, one here, and then 2 down underneath where your door pull is. 10mm bolts, remove them with a 10mm socket, ratchet, and extension. And a lot of times these ones won't come all the way out. That's okay. You can retrieve them when you get the door panel all the way off. And you'll want to use a trim tool. Once you get in there, you can kind of see in behind there and see where the clips are. Got one here, roughly here and here. Pull out firmly and work your way around. And then my bolts have kind of popped out here, so I'll make sure I collect those. And once I'm sure I'm all the way around, lift up and out. And then on here, there's a couple little tabs. I'm gonna push the tab, pull out a little bit, twist it around, push the other tab, push that through and out. And my door panel comes out. You can see it's actually still, there's actually clips on the padding here. It's still clipped on in a couple spots. Just push those off.
So to pull this vapor barrier off, it's got some butyl tape on here. Sometimes it'll peel off real easily. If it doesn't, I've got a razor blade here to help just cut it off a little bit. There you go. I'll put this aside so it doesn't get destroyed. Before you take the door handle off, you've got to remove or unhook the clip that's on the actuator here. It's this yellowish orange looking clip. It's got a little tab. Take a small flat bladed screwdriver, push it open, it'll pop off. We're going to take our plastic trim tool. If you don't have one of these, you can get them from 1AAuto.com, and we're going to pull this rubber grommet out. Let's put that aside so you don't lose it. I'm going to remove the door lock actuator with a T30 Torx. So now with it loose, we can go inside the door and disconnect the Bowden cable for the door handle and the wiring harness. With the door lock actuator loose, I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to undo the actuator cable or the Bowden cable for the door handle first. Just going to squeeze here and squeeze the other one. I'm working around and squeeze it. Just like that. And you pop the end off the cable off this. Pull that aside. Tangled on the harness here. Now that out of the way. The next thing to do is to pop this lock off here with a flat-bladed screwdriver. It's going to come up pretty far. Once it's unlocked, it should be really loose. Just come right off. Just slide the actuator out. Maneuver it out of the door. Got a long actuator rod on here you have to fish out. That's our door lock actuator. All right, so our door lock actuator is working okay, so we're gonna put this one back in. So you're just gonna have to fish the actuator rod in there. All right, before you get too far, now's the time to connect the connector. So as you can see that lock on there, there's a couple pins on either side of the actuator that those locks are going to go into. So you slide it over, push down as far as you can go, and then when you push the lock down, it's going to pull it the rest of the way in. Now that's locked, that won't come off. I'm going to reattach the Bowden cable. Put the ball through. You can push this lever in a little bit so it catches. We're going to clip it in. Now we're going to feed that actuator rod up into the door. You have to reach around with your hands. There it is. Get this sort of close. Okay, so I'm holding it in from behind with my hand, so it's not like moving around on me. I've got my T30 Torx bolts that came out. I'm gonna thread these back in. Get the holes lined up. Start with this one. This is your child lock. And there's a little diagram for it. So this is unlocked. So the door handle will open the door from the inside. If you don't want children to open the door from the inside, you can take a screwdriver and turn that so it's horizontal like that. Now I've got these started. I'm going to grab my T30 Torx in my socket and tighten them down. I'm going to reinstall this grommet. After the actuator is installed, you need to reconnect the actuator rod to this little yellow clip. Try to get it straight up and down. Place the rod in there. And then if you just sort of roll it up and over, it'll clip in. Now that we're all set working inside the door, we can reinstall the water vapor barrier. So you can feed the wires through. Sort of find the general area as where it was. The butyl tape on there was still pretty sticky, so we're just gonna push it back down.
Okay, you have these longer, larger, basically kind of teeth that hook into the square holes down there. kind of preliminary line everything up. Just make sure your harness goes up and through, and then reconnect your door handle cable in and pull it out, push it in. Again, just make sure that that harness is up through. You want this groove to go into the channel here. So lift up, lift up, push down, then make sure your door lock is up through, your harness is up through, and then you should be able to see it nice and close to the door. There's a large lineup pin up here. Once everything's good, it'll go in about that far away, and then you can just set all the pins. Just need a pair of pliers, reach in, bring your lock back up, put your 3 10mm bolts back in, one here, and then these two you load into your socket. You may, if you put some tape or painter's tape on, it might help hold them in place. I'll just put those in place. And reconnect the switch. Feed the harness down in. Ooh. And make sure you put this in correctly. Then your 3 pieces of trim, the one in behind the door handle, snap it in place. This one can just go down in place. This one, make sure that the little tab is out. Put it down on, lock it in place. That's all set.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.